When your heart is racing at the speed of light, and you feel like you got nowhere else to go. No, I hold you till the sun comes in the morning light. Yeah, I'll keep you safe, I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
About 5 weeks ago, our mare was injured. She still has a swollen hock, and we're following our vet's directions with how to treat it. That starts with cold hosing it every day. We spend several minutes doing this, and then we apply a clay to her hock. This cools the hock and also reduces the swelling. You end up with it all over your hands. We're really not sure how this injury happened. Every horse owner has the nightmare of going out in the morning to feed their horses breakfast and discovering an awful injury, and that's what happened. She went out to the pasture well at night and then came in with cuts all over her and this terribly swollen hock. We, of course, called our vet right away. She ended up spending several days at the vet hospital, and then we kept her on stall rest. But she's had so much anxiety this spring that she was really struggling with staying in the stall. She was anxious and kicking. She wouldn't eat. She dropped weight. She even ended up having a slight case of colic. So we've had to increase her turnout just for her mental stability. So you can see this is all finished. And while we had the horses up and were grooming them, we noticed that after all the rain we've had over the last 6 weeks, Latte had developed a slight case of mud fever, just little scabby, itchy scabs on her lower legs. So we wanted to nip that in the bud. We scrubbed all of her legs with betadine. That's a disinfectant scrub. We made sure to soften and then scratch off those scabs so that the infection underneath could be treated with antibiotics and the antibiotic scrub. You see, Latte was very, very helpful with this procedure. We found that Latte is really prone to mud fever. Even though we don't have a lot of mud and we try to keep the horse's legs very clean, it just tends to pop up on her anytime we have a lot of wet weather. So we have to stay on top of it. We use Aquaphor and even Desitin sometimes on the back of her pasterns to try to protect them. And we also try and keep them as dry as possible. So of course, after we scrub them with the betadine, we hose them off really well. With mud fever, you really want to reduce the amount of moisture on their legs, so we try not to do this every day. And when we do it, we dry her legs as well as we can before we turn her out so that we don't cause more of a problem. I think the scabs were itchy because Latte kept making all kinds of funny faces and looked like she was enjoying the scratches on her legs and the rubbing. So once we were done, we knew that we had forecasted more rain and the horses were going to have wet legs. So we went ahead and applied an antibiotic cream to any of the areas where we could see that were raw or exposed or had little wounds or cuts. So we went around and treated all of those. If you catch it early, mud fever isn't a great big problem, but you don't want to let it go because it can spread and cause the horse a lot of discomfort, and it can even lead to bigger issues down the road. So we try to stay on top of it, make sure Latte is comfortable. Of course, after the horses had behaved for all of their medical care, we took them out and enjoyed some hand grazing. And we have some especially lush places that the horses can't get to unless we take them by hand. So they always enjoy that. We have really hot summer weather coming, and we have had so much fun in the cool spring temperatures, hanging out with the horses, letting them eat. walking around with them, going to visit all of our other animals, and just enjoying the beautiful spring weather. So they've gotten quite spoiled, and now they like to dive for grass whenever we take them for a walk. Oh, the horses enjoy their dinner. We get to muck out their pen.